Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, the Honorable Chief Minister, Mr. Shehbaz Sharif, Mr. Shahid Riaz, Mr. Leo Königsberg, distinguished guests, friends, partners, and members of the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, thank you very, very much for coming here this evening on the occasion of the special visit for the Chief Minister of Punjab. We very much look forward to the lecture that we're about to hear this evening. In many ways, it's a large honor to our Institute that you have come. Your presence itself is a sign, I think, of the dedication that you have when it comes also to the importance of culture and cultural diplomacy and dialogue between nations and between countries. So we're really very, very honored and very, very happy to have you here. What I would like to do now is invite, first of all, Leo Königsberg to say a few words about his exhibition that we all had a chance to experience on our way to the conference facilities. Then I would like to ask Mr. Shahid Riaz to say a few words on his behalf, a very close partner of ours. Then I will say a few words of introduction for the Chief Minister, and we have the lecture. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I think as we call Mr. Königsberg to the stage, we can also give him a very warm applause to congratulate him also for the exceptional exhibition that we just had a chance to experience. So ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Leo Königsberg. Thank you.
My name is Leo Königsberg, and I'm an artist living in Berlin. And I'm a bit nervous as well because so many honored people. I have to say about my exhibition first. You have seen the paintings when you come on the right side, and this is a cycle. A cycle is about post-industrial disease, what I call. And it's about emptiness, it's about breakdown of factories, closing factories, and the hope of a new reaction and a hope of a new transformation to the best, and to the maybe to art or new companies. And then when it comes to the point that I did this portrait of Sir Sharif, it was a very, very big pleasure, you know, because I have seen a man one time in a short breakfast in Berlin, and the second time on a painting, you know. So it to learn to know what is this man worth, it took me a few time to do the painting. And I'm very thankful to Mr. Riaz, because he is a man for me which is very, very deep in European culture and as well Pakistani culture. So he's a perfect mix and a perfect medium to ask me, can you do the painting of this famous man? And I was surprised a bit because I'm not used to it, such things, and especially work with a lot of gold, which is more to the Pakistani tradition. And I love it, and I love this this interaction with the life, because we all, I can see when I work, I can see first the face, and behind the face the history, and then I can feel it back to many generations, which it brought me during my work. And the last painting, which is in the before the room here, I did last night. I finished it last night. It gives me a bit pain because of finishing, but it was fun, and it was as well a lot of power. And that's what the arts can give to you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, before I say a few words of introduction about the Chief Minister, I'd like to say a few words of introduction about, I think, one of the best cultural diplomats that I know when it comes to Pakistan and Germany, Mr. Shahid Riaz. He is currently the coordinator of the Chief Minister of Punjab for Germany on behalf of the government of Punjab. In addition to that, and almost more importantly from our side, he is the Vorsitzender, or the chairman, of the Deutsch-Pakistanische Gemeinschaft für Kultur und Demokratie, which is an NGO looking at German-Pakistani relations and how actually they can be strengthened, in particular through culture. So in many ways, I'm really, really grateful to have the chance to be here this evening together with the Chief Minister. It's thanks to a lot of hard work of Mr. Riaz. And for us, this is really one step in a much larger cooperation. We're planning to do a conference in Lahore, looking at also energy policy, where we hope to bring also investors and also private sector representatives from Germany to Pakistan to really have an impact when it comes to energy, which we all know is a major need when it comes to Punjab, as the biggest actually part of of Pakistan. So we're looking forward, as I think a follow-up to this conference, to meeting again in Pakistan, as well as a whole wide range of other initiatives and activities that we're intending to launch between Pakistan and Germany. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to do a brief welcome first for Mr. Shehbaz Sharif. Please.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chief Minister, my player, and I'm so proud. I've been working for Pak-German relations for a few years, as Mr. Donford said, but it's a great player for me, an honor for me to work for such a person whom Leo has very much fun to paint. It's a special method to understand a person, and Leo knows how many nights I was on 2 o'clock in the morning in his studio because he told me that he's painting, and I wanted to see the process, how he does. And tell you that this painting is being a project. Verena Resch, as an Austrian artist, she has done a documentary on this painting, and I hope she will meet the Chief Minister and make an interview about that. So thank you very much, Leo, and I thank very much Mr. Donfred. He's planning university cooperation with Punjab. He is willing to hold an energy conference in Punjab, and to explain why about my boss and my leader, Chief Minister Punjab. I would like to say a few words, definitely. That is, Punjab is mean land of 5 rivers. You know, in German people, they drink this punch. You know, this drink punch. It comes out from punch. It means 5. And we have more than 90 million people. And in this history of Punjab, that we've been ruled through many rulers, and we've gone through many eras of misgovernment and colonialism, and police and administration and government has been historically a symbol of manipulation and misgovernance. So one thing I can tell you, because you are young leaders, Chief Minister has in last time never gave such importance and energy to any other sector, any other generation than the young people. He has given so much. The vision, what you read is that the equal access to the knowledge can make a prosperous society. So many people had not access to the internet. Many people had not access to the real quality education. So we distributed the government of Punjab 100,000 of laptops. So people sitting in my village are connected with the Institute of Cultural Diplomacy. They are connected to the New York and Washington. That is the vision. And one thing more, you guys heard about our countries, developing countries, that we are misgoverned, we are corrupt. If you go into the internet, the Transparency International is maybe, with some reservation, is the most known institution to clarify or to give the verdict on the good governance. The Transparency International has his honorable government and his personality and his work has said this is the most best work and transparent work ever done in our country. So I would say this is the person I'm working with, this is the person I'm working for, and he will definitely speak about his young policy and youth policy. I thank you very much again for Leo Königsberg and Mr. Donfred. It's my honor to be here and to speak here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Riaz, and especially for all of the hard work that it took to put together the entire delegation trip, as well as in particular today's highlight for us, the keynote address at the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Milan Muhammad Shehbaz Sharif was initially born in 1950. He is the brother of Nawaz Sharif, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan. He graduated with distinction from the university in Lahore, and has been most of his life a keen businessman, playing a vital role in the success of the Ittifaq group of companies, which was founded by his father and his uncles. The Ittifaq group of industries, the Unity, is a multi-million-dollar integrated steel producer with major operations in the Punjab province of Pakistan. The steel mill was founded and established by the renowned industrialist Muhammad Sharif, father and the two times Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif. Minister Sharif was elected to the Punjab Assembly in the 1988 elections and the National Assembly in 1990. He was again elected to the Punjab Assembly in 1993 when he was named leader of the opposition in the House when Manzoor Watu was the first Chief Minister of Punjab. After his election to the Punjab Assembly for the third time in the 1997 elections, Minister Sharif was elected leader of the House and sworn in as the Chief Minister of Punjab on February 20th, 1997. As the chief executive of the Punjab province, he's known for being a strict disciplinarian. During his tenure, he's tried to eliminate the culture of bureaucratic hurdles in the uplift process focused on health, education, agriculture, and industrial sectors. He launched a successful operation against the ghost schools by involving the army. He took action against the use of illegal means in examinations across the province. An entry test and self-finance systems in medical colleges were introduced during his tenure as the Punjab Chief Minister. He's represented Pakistan at various international forums, including the United Nations, where his views and speaking powers were much appreciated. The topic of his lecture this evening is one also very close to our own hearts here at the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy, because we believe very much in the same ideas that Mr. Riaz was talking about, in the sense, in the end, it's about access. The main challenge separating human beings in the world, in our opinion, is not race or nationality or ethnicity or any of those barriers, but it's actually access. Some in the world have access to what they want and what they need. Some don't have access. So I think a vast amount of the work that the minister has been doing as chief minister has been exactly in that regards, in the sense, how can we provide more access when it comes to education, more access in particular when it comes to energy, etc. So it very much is fitting also for the context of the Institute for Cultural Diplomacy. This evening, however, the topic will be, as I said, focused on education. The title of the lecture, Progress Through Quality Education, The Case of Punjab. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to ask for a very, very warm welcome and a sincere welcome for the Honorable Chief Minister Shehbaz Sharif. Thank you.
Mark Donfried, Chief Executive, Institute of Cultural Diplomacy, Consul General Pakistan, Mr. Riaz, Shahid Riaz, Coordinator, Government of Punjab, Honorable members of Pakistan's delegation, Hobschön junge Leute von Deutschland, meine Damen und Herren, guten Abend, good evening, Assalamu alaikum. It's really and of course, entschuldigen Sie bitte, Herr Leo Kunsberg. Thank you very much for wonderful painting. I saw your exhibition was really wonderful. Thank you. It's been a great pleasure to be here this evening. I was supposed to be here many months ago, but unfortunately due to some important duty back in Pakistan, I could not come and visit this great institution. But nevertheless, thank you very much, and I think I'm very happy to be here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, I come from Pakistan. My city where I was born is called Lahore, which is a very traditional and historical city, has thousands and thousands of years of history. That part of the world thousands of years ago was invaded by many times by invaders from Farghana and Ghaznavi in Afghanistan, and of course ruled by Mughal emperors for centuries. So it has a very rich culture, very rich history and values. I'm sure you have read about Lahore and read about Pakistan in history books, and of course you can surf through the internet and you will know all these centuries old stories about that part of the world. Pakistan was created out of India in 1947 through great efforts and sacrifices by our founding fathers under the leadership of Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad al-Jinnah, who not only struggled for a country, created a country, and led a country. These three elements put together is a rare phenomena in the world's history. I traveled to your great country in 1969 when I was just 15 years old. I was a student, and I can never forget an episode which I keep on telling myself and sharing with my friends and colleagues. I was a student, from was wir sagen auf Deutsch, higher school, Hochschule, and I won high scores in my class, and my father was very kind. He sent me to European trip with my late uncle, and I was in Duisburg in a Stahlfabrik with my uncle. I knew nothing about business. I was a student, and my uncle didn't know English much, so I was also working like his interpreter. A man who was definitely more than 60 years old at that time in 1969. In that factory, he would go down the stairs and run up the stairs, go down the stairs and run up the stairs. My uncle was very impressed. He said, ask him, how old is he? I asked him, he said, I'm 64 years old. And my uncle said, hasn't he retired? He said, yes, I am retired. But during the Zweite Weltkrieg, this factory was totally, Zerstöring. It was totally, devastated. And after the war, we built this factory, again with our hands, and it is like my baby. I come here every day, spend 3-4 hours just to look after my baby, and then go home. And after the war, he said that while we were rebuilding this factory, we were spending extra time than our normal duty, 3 hours, 2 hours every day, out of Herzliches Wünsche, our own heart desire that we have to build Germany. So we built this factory, and we charged no money to the owner of the factory because it was our national duty. And he said, now this factory is doing very well. It's a baby which has grown, and we are very happy. I come here and spend 3-4 hours every day. Meine Damen und Herren, meine Herren und Damen, this is the story I have always remembered. And this is what I know about Germany. That after Zweite Weltkrieg, when Germany was totally destructed and totally annihilated, the way German nation, through dint of hard work, Arbeit, noch Arbeit, and through zusammen, efforts, you built Germany within decades, which was unbelievable. And your work ethic, your honesty of purpose, your commitment to, and your innovation in technology, in research and development. This is what I know about Germany as a student, when ich war nur 15 Jahre alt. And bis heute, till today, that is my impression about your great country. In between, I have not visited Germany for a long time. I used to come almost every year after I finished my studies. I used to come as a young businessman to Stuttgart, to Heidelberg, to Frankfurt, to Mannheim and other places. And then there was a big gap because then I switched from business to politics, and I stopped coming to this great country. But believe me, those impressions of late 60s are still valid today. your work ethic, your honesty. You are a great nation. And I'm not trying to please you, because tomorrow I will finish my work, I'll go back. God knows when I'll come back again. But this is the impression which I share with my friends back in Pakistan about this great nation. And when people ask me, which nations do I like the most? Two, German nation and Japanese nation. Both of you really, after the war, you converted your defeat into hard work, into struggle, untiring efforts, and with blood, sweat, and hard work, you achieved again something which was like a dream. Could anybody, even imagine in one's remotest imagination that 22 years ago, East Germany will fall in the lap of West Germany like a ripe fruit from the tree? It did not happen through a war. You didn't have to fire even a bullet, and Berlin Wall just came down like that. Iron Curtain could not stop this unification. I don't know how many Germans today support this unification or otherwise. I am not sure, but the fact that Germany got unified was, I think, history in the making. And it all happened because West Germany became a beacon of light, became an example in the contemporary world that hard work, sacrifice, hard work, innovation, education pays. And Prime Minister of Britain could not stop this unification. She didn't like it. Madam Margaret Thatcher, she didn't like it, I know that. President Reagan was supporting it, but Margaret Thatcher thought if Germany got unified, it would become a big power, not only in Europe, all over the world. I think the lesson is that through this unification, you have not stretched your arms, you have not created any hegemony, you have, I think, forgotten the enemies of the past, and today you have made friends all over. You are trying to retrieve the dying economy of Greece. You are trying to, you are trying to help Greece, although it's a huge financial problem. And you are a leading light in Europe for many new initiatives and providing an example for us in Pakistan, that we have fought 3 wars between ourselves, India and Pakistan, ever since 1947, and 3 wars have brought nothing to us. Like it did not bring anything to you except misery, except killings, except poverty, except unemployment and tensions. So I think the moral of the story is that Germany today, along with other European countries, have created European Union, European Parliament, single currency, and Germany is the strongest ardent supporter of the system. Of course, you are paying a cost, because there is no gain without a cost. You can't have the cake and also eat it. But I think this is a shining example for us that we must not fight any more wars between ourselves, between India and Pakistan. We must take a leaf from European case. We must live like peaceful citizens. Yes, Kashmir is an issue. It requires freedom, like Palestine. Yes, we have a water problem with India because it is upper riparian and we are low riparian. Yes, we have other tension points. But the beauty of the whole story is that we must resolve now these all issues with India on the table through discussions like decent people, like you have done. I mean, there were guillotines centuries ago, there were killings, and today you sit in Brussels, and whether it's a farmers issue, or it is a financial issue, or something else, subsidy, or a European Union matter, or something else, you sit down and resolve the most ticklish issue. And if you do not like something, you just simply walk out. Like Britain is out of this, is what we call, Euro zone. Britain is not a member, but still is member of the Parliament, is still part of the European Union. So I think this is where we have to learn a lesson, and I have no hesitation to say that ever since this morning I've come to Berlin during my second stint in this year. I came for Grüne Woche in February diesen Jahr, and now I've come again, and I am being very honest to my German counterparts that we are a poor country. Although Pakistan is blessed with lots of natural resources, we have in Punjab, as is the größte Land in Pakistan. Pakistan hat Einwohner 81 Millionen Einwohner, und Punjab ist 100 Millionen Einwohner. That is the größte province von Pakistan, and we have in Punjab five Fluss, as Shahid Riaz said. We have agriculture, we have livestock, we have dairy farm, everything. But even today, and we are a nuclear power, but on one hand we have our nuclear arsenal, and on the other hand we have the begging bowl, and ask in the international metropolis to give us aid, give us help. This is not the way to lead an honorable and dignified life. So my philosophy is, in Punjab, I am the elected Chief Minister of Punjab. My philosophy is that we have to stand on our own feet, like Germans did after the war. We have to generate our own resources, like Germans did nach dem Krieg. We have to work with international community, like you do with your old enemies. And we are a poor country. We have to live an austere life, save resources to invest on our youth, on our students, on our future generation, because only through education, only through acquiring knowledge can we understand the difference between black and white. Can we differentiate between lies and truth? Can we differentiate between a peace-loving person and a troublesome person? Can we teach our people that we have to kill the menace of terrorism, extremism in Pakistan through education? Of course, militarization Waffen is important, but along with that, it is education Waffen, it is Hoffnung, it is jobs, it is employment, and that can only happen through creation of wealth, and creation of wealth cannot happen without education, without technical education, without knowledge. That is very, very important. And therefore, we are facing challenges in Pakistan like terrorism, and it's not our own creation. Let me correct this false understanding that we were very peace-loving citizens of the world in Pakistan, but in 1980s, Russia attacked Afghanistan, and we were sort of touted and encouraged by international community that look, communism is knocking at the gates of Pakistan. They have entered Afghanistan, and from Kabul to Peshawar, which is the nearest big city of Pakistan, is just 3 hours by car and 30 minutes by air. If you don't fight communism, Russia is going to eat up Pakistan. This was a misnomer. This was a mistake on the part of our leaders at that point in time. Anyway, that's history. So we became frontline state to fight this so-called war between Islam and communism, and of course financed by CIA, financed by MI6, financed by some Islamic countries, and we gave our people to sacrifice and fight Soviets in Afghanistan. The rest is history, my dear, great Germans and my friends. The rest is history. But as a result of when the Russians left Afghanistan, then those fighters who were then called by international community as great fighters and jihadis, subsequently after 9/11, when the Twin Towers came down, it was the most ugly incident which took place, and the entire world condemned it with full force. It was the most dastardly act on the part of perpetrators to have brought down Twin Towers in New York. And I think from east to west and north to south, the entire world was up in arms, and so did we, condemned it fully. But subsequent to that, those jihadis started becoming terrorists, dubbed by the West. So I think the point at issue is, what I'm saying is, today, this is a live issue with us. This is a challenge with us. In the last many years, in the last few years, 40,000 Pakistanis have laid their lives, sacrificed in this fight against terrorism. And it is the biggest loss any country has made in recent history. 3 wars which Pakistan and India fought, a few thousand died. But this war against terror has cost us so far 40,000 people, and billions of dollars in our economy has gone down. There can't be a bigger evidence, meine Herren und Damen, than this one, that we are committed to defeat the threat of terrorism and extremism with international support and become part of the progressive societies of the world. Therefore, in Punjab, we are educating our people, we are building schools, and we are building great schools where the poorest of the poor are given very high quality education, where we have smart boards, where we have IT labs, and in those schools they're called Danish school, intellect schools in English translation. And the criteria is that the very smart boys and girls will get admission in those schools, but poorest of the poorest, Ameston von Armen Studenten will get admission in those schools. And they are orphans, single orphans, they are double orphans, and their parents have no money to feed them, let alone to educate them. I have built these schools in the last 4 years in those parts of Punjab where there's nothing but sand dunes and no water. And these schools are at par with the best grammar schools in Pakistan, and I always call them Eatons and Harrows of Punjab. And then we have distributed laptops to hundreds and thousands of students on the criteria of merit, Leistungs, to empower them, serve through websites, download New York Times, Der Spiegel, read what international world is doing, read what Germans are doing, read what Americans are doing, and read not only from one source, from 10 sources. Is it proper to kill an innocent person? That's what we are doing in Punjab, in Pakistan. In addition to that, I have established a fund. It's called PEEF, Punjab Education Endowment Fund. And we have put in billions of rupees in this fund. And this fund does one thing. It picks up the financial expenses of brainy students in Punjab, both boys and girls, who cannot afford their education in higher education, whether they are medical schools or engineering schools. Through this intervention, today 35,000 students are being financed by this fund. Now, what I'm trying to say is this, that previously in Pakistan, education was probably meant, good quality education was meant for the rich class only, and ordinary schools were meant for only poor segments of society. Societies are never built like this. Societies are only built through a combination of the entire society, rich and poor. Everybody has to be empowered by the state. So this is what we have done in education. And apart from that, policy, always when their president or their chancellor, and their chancellor must bleiben, when they go through their limousines, policy always salute them. For me in Punjab, that is verboten. Policy cannot salute me. It's verboten. It is a waste of time. But they salute the best students in Punjab, whether they're girls and boys, because we want to honor them. We want to empower them. We want to make them forward. In industry, in a culture, we are very, mercifully very rich, and we have huge resources. Unfortunately, today, bei uns Energielage, as it's schlecht. Energy position is bad in Pakistan. We have huge deficit between our power requirements and our supply. That's why I was in Potsdam Chamber of Commerce today, meeting solar energy companies, meeting coal based energy generating companies and other companies. I was talking to them that please help us, and I believe help in terms of trade. I don't believe in aid at all. If some countries like Germany, the GTZ, now it's called GIZ, or DFID in England, they want to, out of their own goodwill, want to give some donation to Pakistan for education and health, we welcome that, of course. But I don't believe in asking for aid, because aid, ladies and gentlemen, is like AIDS. Like AIDS kill a person. Somebody who's having this disease of AIDS, ultimately he or she is killed. First, she will get weak or he will get weak, then on bed, and then gestoten. Similarly, aid kills a society, because you are then used to, like opium. So I think starke work, harter Arbeit, like you have done nach dem Zweite Weltkrieg, it's a shining example for me as a student of history. And therefore, I want to conclude today, this evening, that in Pakistan, the future is in the hands of our young people from 15 to 25 years old, and they constitute 60% of our population. So we have to empower them. We have to sacrifice. We have to conserve our resources and invest on students, build universities, build colleges, build schools, and that's how we will kill terrorismus, will kill extremismus, will become a great nation, inshallah, if not today, if not in 1 year, if not in 2 years, maybe 5 years, 10 years, like you have done. We'll wait for that day, inshallah, through hard arbeiten, through commitment and through commitment. In the end, I'd like to thank you, from the core of my heart, for giving me this opportunity to stand before this wonderful assembly of young people and German, people, experts, artists and others, students, and of course, I'm extremely happy to be in your great country again, and I can assure you, with the commitment we have to serve our country, and we don't have to get another model. German model is enough for us, and that is nothing but harter Arbeit, honesty, harter Arbeit, honesty, harte Arbeit, honesty. Vielen Dank. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for, I think, a very inspiring speech, and especially for sharing the insights with us about also what's happening now in Punjab. I think it's very encouraging to see also the approach, really of facilitating access, whether it comes to education, energy, and beyond.